Okay, we're going to talk more about reptilians, Arcturians, aliens, extraterrestrials, our neighbors, and we're going to talk more about what's happening here with the duality. Okay, I talked about that in my last video, but we're going to pursue it further. In fact, I'm going to talk more about this because it seems to be of real interest to those of you who love the gloom and doom, but you're on my channel, you're not going to get that. But I think you're going to love what I'm going to talk about. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fear and live an amazing life. Okay, I'm part of the game that is showing light. There are those that are part of the game that are pursuing darkness. It's just the game. So if you bought this game, I'm talking about one of the nasty ones, what is it, Grand Theft Auto. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. I'm sure that's a great game. So let's steal cars and kill people. This is insanity, right? Or is it? Have you played it before? I haven't. I have no desire to play that. But then I'm not addicted to the darkness. Darkness is an addiction. It's part of a game here that we get to play and change. You have complete free will. So what's happening is, this is fascinating stuff. You think about it. When you really understand that you're not this, and this is why when people have near-death experiences, they go into such an amazing space. In fact, there's no judgment over there. There's nobody saying right, wrong, punishment, nothing. Everything over there is created too. That's still an illusion. But it goes into the high frequency. It comes out of the density of the human body, right? Okay? And it still continues. This is why near-death experiencers will have different experiences according to their own beliefs. Some people may actually go to hell. They believe in hell. They maybe don't believe in, the light, and eventually they actually come out of it. They always do. There's always a light that comes in that shows them the duality over there that they chose. They chose it. So if you believe in that, you get to experience it over there until the light finally says, okay, do you see that's actually, you don't have to do that. It just continues on and on and on. This is why you want to master this here. You want to master this game here, because when you go over, you don't have to play those games. You'll go up in a higher one. You could be, studying in the beautiful, looks like a Roman city. I've been there a few times. That has, you get to study and do amazing things and use magic, and it's just it's so beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's all self-lit. People are just walking around in peace and love. It's euphoric. But you get bored there. You get bored and you want to learn new things. You can't read about it. You have to experience it. And how can you experience it? You have to forget what you are. Otherwise, you'd be able to just go into it like this. But you can do that here. You can, because you don't lose your higher self. It's not something separate from you. When you remove the cloak, the veil of the ego, you just connect it to it again, and you experience it as a human, which is the biggest duality. Can I be awakened as a human? Because as a human, you will still experience the pain, loss, fear, all this, and you still experience it, but you understand what it is. It no longer rules you. And this is cool stuff, right? We're going to talk a lot more about this. So what happens is, then when you recognize it, you go into this space of which you are. You go into an expansive space. My students, I have a few of them do this. They go into this unbelievable space out here, and they experience this amazing euphoric feeling, but they still have to deal with the world here that's in duality. So they get to see the pain and the, the conflict and all that stuff. And so that it's difficult. So you don't stop experiencing the pain and sadness, of being here, because it's the game. And you know that others are experiencing that as if it's real. And so as euphoric beings, as awakened beings, you have to let it play out. So what's happening here is, I came here as a player to balance out the duality. All right, so there will be, so we went into a darker place. We went into a more destructive place. We've been there for quite a while now. And so what was happening is we were going so far into the destructive space, it had to balance back out again. So there are light workers who came here, even though they didn't have to. They decided that their game was going to go to, let's see, I'll go to planet Earth. I'll volunteer for that. Yeah, hello, McFly, what was I thinking? Anyway, so we come here, and you say, I can, piece of cake, I can handle it. All right. Yeah, and you realize, oh, man, I'm in it for the ride, and I got to stay on it, stay on it. That means I have to remain steadfast in showing people that they are amazing, perfect light beings. And that's the game, is to recognize that in the worst of density. So we have this, and it's starting to go into another tipping point, right? So the light is actually Star Wars, right? Every other movie, the dark's winning, the light's winning. Nobody wins. It's just the game. It's going to keep going back and forth, but you don't have to play on such a low-level game, right? We're not going to play Grand Theft Auto. We're going to go play Candy Crush or Pac-Man. I'd rather play Pac-Man. But you don't stop playing Pac-Man if you lose the first time, right? You come back and you go, this guy's going to come out right about now. I'm going to be watching that. Burp, got past him. And then you get up and up. Pretty soon you're on the leaderboard. That's all it is. All of this. That's all it is. So I want to talk about our neighbors. Because we are such low density beings, chosen, it's not really what you are, but you know, the game players, they can't come in and interfere because they're way advanced than us. We chose to go into density. Even the light workers here, you know, they're having to live in the density because once you go into this body, you go to a low vibration. What's the difference between vibration and frequency? A vibration is a rock versus a cloud, okay? A vibration is just what allows something to appear as something different. A frequency is a choice within it. So no matter how dense this body is, if I go into light and oneness and love and service to other, I can raise my frequency within the low vibration of the human, and that's the duality. That's the final game, is if you can raise your frequency in the lowest of vibrations, bing, 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 winner, winner. So we've got high frequency beings out there and high vibration beings. So they went into higher vibrations because they don't want to play this low vibration game. But they get choices within their vibration choice, whether they're light beings or Arcturians or whatever. Well, I don't even know. I'm not into that stuff, okay? I got to deal with what's here. And so, and nobody has those answers, but they are there, and they are our neighbors, and whatever they call themselves and whatever their backgrounds are, that's all part of the game. So they cannot interfere with us, and we are so low density that we don't even believe this stuff. We think they're threatening, when the joke is, we're the lowest vibration species out there. You know how I know? Because if it gets lower than us, they've blown themselves up. Yes, people were on Mars not that long ago. It was decimated. It was decimated by wars, not of the people that lived on it, but the people who fought over it. All right? So they had to leave. It was so destroyed. The skies were dark, and it just wasn't livable anymore. And in order to just really remove themselves, they had to go other places. All right? Some of that is here, not all of it. There are a lot of different sources of what's here. That's why we look so different. If we were all one thing, we'd all look the same. Oh, no. If somebody's born in China, they're going to look different. No. If we came from one, species, egg, sperm, we'd all start looking the same. We wouldn't have the differentiations that we do. That's part of the duality that's been created here. Right? It's been contributed to allow us to see, can we be super different and come back together as one? It's part of the game. It's a duality purposely created. So we fight diversity. We fight it. And then those who are for it, then they're fighting for their own diversity. It's insanity. It's conflict. Be who you are. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Let's just celebrate it, okay? And so just if you can go into Peace, you go into the other part of the duality of the planet and you will experience a completely different existence and reality here. And then when you go over, you're on the leaderboard. You don't have to come back down here and struggle and suffer anymore. You've got choice, 100%. You don't have to stay in pain or fear. So all of the species, the other species and beings, are part of the game that are allowed to interact with us. So, you know, if you're out there and you let Dolores Cannon, 3 waves of volunteers. There's no 3 waves. By the way, later on she knew that. It's endless. People come in and have to balance out the insanity here. Otherwise, we will blow ourselves up. And by the way, that is an option. That's an option. So even if you're on a high frequency here, you can experience that. But if you go out in light and love, you're indestructible. All of us are anyways. But you will continue that illusion on the other side. You will continue the learning. It's still an experience that goes on and on and on and on. The one is just expansion and exploration, neither right nor wrong. There's no evil. It's created by us. It's part of the duality that allows us to make choices. All right, so the alien thing, the extraterrestrial, they're our neighbors, they're fabulous. There's some that, of course, are attracted to planet Earth because guess what? They couldn't do anything here unless there's people that, you know, collaborate with them for their own egotistical, powerful, you know, agendas. So don't get caught up in that. By the way, stop watching that crap. All right, would you please? When you focus on something, you're so powerful, and I think most people don't realize how powerful they are. That one look, that one piece of attention, that 1 second of attention you give it, you empower it. It becomes real because nothing exists unless you focus on it. Nothing exists until you focus on it. All right? It's a hologram, and this is why more and more people are experiencing some really, you know, crazy time shifts and stuff. I've experienced this, things appearing and disappearing and whatever. It's not a glitch. It's not a glitch. We're changing. We are changing the program. So there are adjustments and things. And so when you go in and out of different dimensions, you're experiencing something different. It's not the whole matrix that's happening. You're just going in and out of these dimension shifts because you're changing your frequency. Person who said they've been shocked, like electrical shock when they were meditating, it's a DNA shift, raising the frequency, and it's happening faster. I'm going to talk more about this. I know I loaded you up today, but we're going to talk more about DNA shifts going on, what it is, why it's happening. There's no junk DNA. There's no such thing as junk. And you know, our extraterrestrial friends, the light beings that have come here, the duality, the game, and the end game. The end game. The end game is not real either, but we create endings as humans, right? We believe that we die. Nobody dies. This is fun stuff. I mean, when you get into it, it's like, okay, when I am an endless, unlimited creator, wow. So you guys know if you come over, you can watch free master classes with me. You get all kinds of cool stuff. Those of you who are in my list, if you haven't taken 4 proven steps to manifest anything, it's a 1-hour free master class. You get a chance to have a discovery call with me. It's not me solving your problems. It's us discussing if you want to take your training to the next level. I'm opening up new classes, all right? That means you take the class at your own pace, and every week you get an hour with me, live, all right? And I've got afternoon and evening classes. So come on over. I'm opening up more spaces. I've got to reach as many people as possible, all right? DigitalExplorers.net is opening soon. If you want to change the world, how we do business, that'll be the place to go, and I'll announce that. But if you're in my list, you get all that information. It's pretty cool, all right? I hope you'll subscribe and share these. Please share these. When my subscribers go up, it's not about me. It's about, because I could shut the channel down and not spend hours and hours shooting videos. This is free for you. When I get subscribers, I get recognized out there. That higher frequency gets exposed to everybody. So even if you don't believe this stuff, just hearing it, any kind of focus is going to raise your frequency. So please share my videos anywhere you want to. Let people know I am here to guide them and show light. Got all kinds of free stuff to help you shift. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.